what's up, guys? Welcome back to Clint Likes Everything for another episode of Versus. That's what's Versus, you ask? It's a movie battle. We are doing a movie battle, but before we get into the movies, I need you to get into subscribing. That's right. Today, we have Groundhog Day. Groundhog Day versus Edge of Tomorrow. And to help me break these movies down and figure out who the winner is, I'm going to need my friend Curtis. Curtis, how are you doing? Woo, Curtis, how are you, man?
Thank you. I'm doing very well. Happy Friday, everybody.
Happy Friday. Holy crap, my seat just sank. All right.
Seat sank.
These were some fun movies we did today, man. Groundhog Day and Edge of Tomorrow. The same movie, but way different, depending on how you looked at it. How'd you like these movies?
I enjoyed them. I had this first time I'd seen Edge of Tomorrow, and I've seen Groundhog Day. You know, probably watch it every Groundhog Day. I enjoyed them on the rewatch, or enjoyed that one on the rewatch as well.
I get a confession. I'd never seen Groundhog Day.
Oh my gosh.
In my whole life, I'd never seen Groundhog Day. I think I might have put it on one time, but I fell asleep or something and I never got back to it. So I was like, I remember seeing the trailer for Groundhog Day a million times when it was coming out and I was a kid, and I was like, I got to see that. And I just somehow it's one that slipped through the cracks. So for me, it was like, yeah, finally we get to do Groundhog Day. This is exciting. And I watched it. And I was real sleepy when I started this movie, and I said, man, I might have to start it again when I wake up in the morning. And I perked right up as soon as the movie got going. I perked right up and had a great time. It was a good movie and a thinker too. I didn't expect it to be a thinker, but it is, you know. And I super enjoyed it.
Yeah, I agree. There's a lot of little things that you notice throughout the movie, or that you can notice throughout the movie, and really good movie. I can't believe this is the first time I haven't seen it. But I hadn't seen Edge of Tomorrow, so, you know. Had you seen Edge of Tomorrow before?
I had seen it okay. a couple times. I saw it in the theater. I really enjoyed that movie. I like sci-fi stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's another sci-fi movie that came around the same time with Tom Cruise and Morgan Freeman. I can't think of the name of it right now.
Is it Oblivion?
Yes, that one. That one came out around the same time, and it was really good. That one's way more sci-fi than this movie. It's more like, I mean, it reminds me like of a sci-fi show on HBO or something. It's like, it's real intense, but it was really good. That one was solid too. But okay. Yeah, that was a fun little stint of sci-fi that Tom Cruise did. That was some good stuff. But let's say hey to the chat real quick, man. See how they're doing.
Indeed.
Hey, we got Bobby in the house.
Hello, Bobby. Looks like EJ was in there.
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
Happy Friday, Bobby.
Yeah. Well, dude, do you want to go through some trivia or anything before we get going into the game? Or there's a ton of trivia.
There really is, yeah. And I mean, for Groundhog Day, you know, it's an older movie. So usually that's kind of the case, but there's actually a good bit for Edge of Tomorrow as well.
All right.
So one thing that's interesting is I have not read the manga, but this was based on a manga novel.
Uh-huh.
And it's funny. So they originally the name of the manga novel is All You Need Is Kill. And the studios were like, well, we're not going to name it that, even though it already had a built-in fan base. So they named it Edge of Tomorrow, and it didn't do well. And then they renamed it Live, Die, Repeat, or like they made the subtitle the title, or the catchphrase the title, which is apparently what I think the director, one of them wanted to go with it originally, and then it finally caught. It's got a fan base now, but it's considered not a flop, but not a success. It made about 2.1 times its budget. And I think it was due to advertising and stuff, because plenty of people like this movie now.
Uh-huh.
One thing that's interesting too is Emily Blunt basically almost apparently killed Tom Cruise. They were doing a scene where they're driving the van, and she's supposed to, take a right turn, and she missed her mark and drove right into it, like T-boned into a tree on the side, and it was basically the passenger side, right where Tom Cruise was, and he ended up luckily being fine. I'm sure they reinforced the hell out of those things, but uh, like they apparently just laughed it off. But she was like, "Yeah, I pretty much almost killed him." Um,
That dude's used
and it-
to all the stunts.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's and that's go
your
ahead.
eyes are looking creepy, Curtis. With the screen, you like it got a direct. You had like a direct glare. Uh,
Uh, and well, apparently this is Emily. And I tried to think of another. I guess it's correct, but it said this was Emily Blunt's first action role, and I guess I can't really think of another one either since this one. But she was good in an action role. I thought she did very well.
oh, she's fantastic,
Uh,
man. She's in The Devil
yeah,
Wears Prada. She's in a whole bunch of really good movies. There's a movie.
but I'm saying as an action person,
Yeah,
action.
she's great. She's in Jungle Cruise. She's also in. There's another movie where with Matt Damon, I think, and it's the something Bureau. I can't think of it, but
Oh, that's right.
I think that's
Yeah, I
her
know
in
what you're talking
that
about.
movie.
I
There's a
think
bunch of like the observers in that movie. They're like bald guys in trench coats and stuff.
yeah, the
Uh,
Adjustment Bureau.
yeah, Adjustment Bureau. That's
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. I need to watch that again. Let me see if that stacks up for anything. Uh,
The well, and that's the thing. One of the trivia things is that it's funny she had been in the Adjustment Bureau and then Looper and then this movie, um, and like in like 3 years in a row or something like that, or very close to one another. And it's like she just keeps beating these time travel movies, like
yeah,
so. Um, but and so they never actually say how many days Tom Cruise spent in the time loop. I think in the book it's 160, but that's the book's a lot different from the movie. There is a quote from Emily Blunt where she says she saw Hendrix, who is some character that's not shown on the thing, but saw him die 300 times. So she was at least in the loop, we think, unless she was just exaggerating, 300 times or more. Um, and but we never really know it. We know it's a lot, but they never really say. It's probably close to about 200 times or something like that. Whenever it comes to Groundhog Day, though, they were saying Harold Ramis wanted to make it seem as if Bill Murray was in there for like 10,000 years. Um,
ten
and
thousand years.
that's what he originally wanted to do. But then he made it more like about 10 years. And that makes more sense. Cause that's the thing too. Like it's at first, whenever you first watch Groundhog Day, it's kind of like hard to tell how long he's actually in there. But when you pay attention to the stuff, like he actually learns piano and he memorizes all this French poetry and he learns, he learns all of these things because he has nothing else to do. Except become amazing at this stuff, and like that would take years and years and years of your life. And so he's in there, he's like stuck, apparently according to the director, he's stuck in that day for 10 years of his life until he finally gets it right and gets out of
Yeah,
there. And two more things. So the they both revolve around the scene with Bill Murray and the groundhog driving. Okay, so that groundhog did not want to drive that truck, and apparently Bill Murray was like holding it steady, and the line where Bill Murray says, "Hey, hey, don't drive angry, don't drive angry," that was just an improv line that he threw in there, and it got stuck in the movie. Well, the movie with Nicolas Cage titled "Drive Angry"
it's
apparently
from
got
that.
its title from that scene of the groundhog driving Bill Murray. And that groundhog didn't want to drive Bill Murray so much that it apparently bit the crap out of him, and he had to go get like not emergency surgery, but like he had to go to the emergency room
Wow, like
and was
stitches or something.
bleeding. Yeah, because this groundhog bit him so bad, um, and I wouldn't want to get bit by a groundhog. So yeah, the star of the movie was apparently very rough to work with. There, it's like Chevy
I re-
Chase or something.
I read an article that that Harold Ramis and Bill Murray got into it a lot, and they didn't get along on this movie. Like they were writing it together, and there was another writer involved, and Harold Ramis was kept like or he tried sending that writer to go work with Bill Murray on it. And he got tired of getting calls from Bill Murray at 2 a.m. about stuff, and they disagreed on it, and also like Bill Murray was being according to this article, they said, yeah, he kind of started being mean, and then he wouldn't even return calls for a while, and to where the other one would say, hey, you don't have to throw a tantrum. Let's just talk about what you want to, what you don't like, and they were just butting heads like that. And
Mhm.
according to this is all according to an article I read, but then
Yeah.
he finally didn't really reconnect with Harold Ramis until like right before he died in like 2014. Like they were kind of at odds. This
Wow.
script and this whole experience kind of tore them apart a little bit, which is unfortunate. But stuff like that happens. I've been in creative situations where you have an idea and you have a vision, and somebody else has a different idea of how it's supposed to go, and it's easy for two people to just look at the same thing differently. And from
Yeah.
what I also read, he had more of a philosophical approach. And Harold Ramis is like, hey man, you got to remember this is a comedy, like and he wanted to be more of a philosophical thing, which I could see. I mean, if your whole world's comedy and you're starting to do something and you're putting some real thought into it, a lot of these hilarious comedian guys do a bunch of funny things, and then all of a sudden
Mhm.
they're doing like all of a sudden Jim Carrey's doing a movie about that movie theater, and
Yeah.
uh,
Well, yeah.
and that other one, they all start out really funny and then start trying to develop into, you know what, I can do more than just make people laugh. I'm going to show my dramatic chops. So it's interesting. This one's still funny, but it's interesting that Bill Murray wanted it to go that way.
I read something along those lines too, and it kind of makes sense too, because it was, not too long later he started getting into those dramatic roles and or playing like deadpan comedy, which I'm really not a fan of from him, but um, like he started getting into that. And what I'd read too was that they I didn't realize or read that they had that's what started the feud. For later on, but I don't know if I finished the article. But apparently, Bill Murray was going through a divorce at the time and was taking the movie like to a perfectionist level, and like couldn't let things go because it was like all in his life. That he's going through a divorce and his life was crumbling and stuff. And he was like, "This is what I got." This is plenty of people when they have problems, myself included, usually like dive into their work so that they can
Like
focus
you
on
can
something.
control that. I have
Yeah,
control over
exactly.
this. Yeah.
But he was like, "I'm gonna control that," too deep into it or something like that. Yeah, I'd read that same thing. Or, yeah.
Wow. Well, and is that all the trivia you have
Yeah,
for
there's a
today?
bunch in there, but I mean that those are the ones that jump out at me. And some more might come to my brain once we're actually talking about it. But yeah, those were kind of the big ones that were. Um,
Yes, Bobby the Majestic is the is. Thank you for throwing that.
oh, I haven't seen that one. I know what you're talking about, but I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen that movie? It's a
Uh-uh.
that's a fine film. He also did that other movie, that Kate Winslet, a movie that we covered.
Uh-huh. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Jim Carrey's a great dramatic actor, and
Oh,
and
he's fantastic.
Bill Murray, I don't know if I've seen enough of his dramatic stuff, but I'm not a fan of his, later comedy. I don't know. Some people,
I
the Paul Anderson or whatever it is,
Yeah, the
W.S.
Royal
Anderson.
Tenenbaums. Did
Yeah, that's the best of those,
Yeah.
but it's still not my really cup of tea. I can appreciate it more, but the first time I saw it, I was like, "This is stupid. This isn't even funny."
There's another movie he did with Black Widow, with Scarlett Johansson.
Uh-huh.
Did you ever see
Lost in
that one?
Translation. Yeah,
Yeah, that movie. That's a good
that's
movie
pretty
too.
much a drama. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was a
that's
good
a
one.
good one. Yeah, well, let's get into some game time, man. I like Bill Murray. Well, I like older Bill Murray too, but I'm a big fan of the old Peter Venkman role. You know what I
Totally,
mean? Like
totally.
just doing the one-liners, the cocky one-liners. I didn't. We'll get into it, but I feel like in this role, He wasn't as likable as that though. He
He wasn't, yeah.
delivered his stuff. He just wasn't likable to me, and that's unfortunate because I like Bill Murray. But anyway, I've heard he's real cool. Like people that have met him
Oh, yeah,
at
yeah.
bars and stuff, and that he just shows up at parties just randomly, and he's cool. I don't know if that's premeditated to get that reputation of being a cool guy, but from what
Yeah.
I've heard, he's pretty cool. But anyway, let's see. Where are we?
Welcome, Cass. He got murdered. He did get murdered.
Oh, congrats!
He done murdered that movie. Now he's talking about Bill Murray got murdered.
Oh, got Murrayed. Got you.
Open
All right.
Murray.
Well, let's get into game time.
All right, let's get in the game.
The points. You know how it works. Each team starts with a point. Why? Because it's easier for me to control the graphics. It's Groundhog Day versus Edge of Tomorrow. And how will we start this? We will start it like this. Who had a better trailer? What? This is a weird one. Boom. Here we go. It's Groundhog Day. Oh, yeah. Yep.
They didn't put the famous Sonny and Cher song in the trailer, which you hear over and over and over again.
Over and over. I should have asked which one has the most annoying. Oh, there's a theory. This guy right here, that he's the devil, and that
Well, I should look at him. Yeah.
yeah, there's a theory that he's the devil because as soon as he doesn't buy his insurance, which is like him selling his soul, all hell breaks loose, and he ends up stepping in a puddle and gets stuck in the loop after that.
Ooh, wow.
And then all through the movie, he gets stuck there, and he doesn't ever get loose until the very end when he finally says, "I bought his insurance, I bought his life thing, I bought everything." And after that, he wins and he's free. And so maybe he sold his soul to the devil, and that's how he got out of the loop. You could also say maybe he's in purgatory. That was another, and it's the same kind of thing. And he had to learn how to be a better person so that he could get out of that. And that's why he doesn't end up going back to Pittsburgh because he's going to stay there and is happy in his heaven, or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And he says, "Let's just stay here," But it's interesting. So. But this is a great trailer. I've seen this trailer at least a dozen times throughout my life, and I've more than that. I always wanted to see this movie, and I don't know how I didn't. But this one and What About Bob? That's another trailer that I saw a million times as a kid, and I would quote the trailer, but not seen the movie. I've seen like half of the movie. I fell asleep.
Bob is great.
Yeah, we need to do that one too. So, but yeah, I've seen this trailer, and if you'll notice, guys, we're talking a lot because I don't want to get a copyright strike, so I'm talking over this trailer. But this is a classic.
YouTube's been attacking us recently.
Yeah, they've been after us. There's that
Drive
squirrel.
Angry. And that's where the title for the Nicolas Cage movie came from.
So yeah, Groundhog Day, fun Bill Murray movie. Same old. And then we had The Edge of Tomorrow. And he's going to tell us a story about mimics. But yeah, this
Story
over and over. And this definitely was an enjoyable movie.
And I think so. What I was reading up on it too is it was kind of interesting how many rewrites it went through. Like the ending, which we'll definitely talk about, wasn't what like they were writing that while the movie was in production. They didn't even have the ending fully fleshed out. The original guy who wrote it apparently had the movie, and then they brought in two other guys to rewrite it, and then they brought in the guy who's been doing all the Mission Impossible stuff with Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise brought him in because he wanted to put him in on it and what do they call it? Bump up make it funnier and something.
Yeah, punch it up a little bit.
Yeah, punch it up. That's what I was looking for. And then they brought somebody in after him. So it had like 6 writers on it, and like this, I like it was an enjoyable movie. It was good, but like you could tell it could have been like
It could have
just
been
balls out
really good.
amazing.
It could have been really good, I think.
Got their crap together, yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. And I think you're right. We're going to talk about the ending, but I think the ending, like these guys, and I read another article that Tom Cruise had a big part to do with it, but with the ending of having a Hollywood happy ending,
Yeah.
he was like, "Man, this can't be that dark. I'm a blockbuster movie making guy, and I do happy endings, so
Yeah.
that came off weird. But no, like he's like he's like
What he totally does.
I do happy endings. No, but he wanted a happy ending, so you get a happy ending in that movie. How many times am I going to keep saying happy ending? Yeah, I don't know. Happy ending.
This video banned by YouTube.
Boy, this is redundant. Happy ending. Groundhog Day. Happy ending. No, so he wanted a happy ending, and so we got one. And
Yeah.
sorry, it's hilarious. But I feel like this
And
this
then, well, whenever the alpha blood just like gushed into his mouth, like
before the happy ending, yeah. I feel like I seriously feel like if they'd have gone darker with it, they could have had kind of almost a Logan caliber, like you know what I mean, like a serious
Right.
sci-fi movie that's taken seriously, not treated like a rock script.
Yeah.
That you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's not San Andreas or something like, hey, we have a movie and giving it slight dark turn actually gives it some weight. You know what I mean? Like
That's where it starts too. That's what kind of ruins it for you, because that's where it starts. He's not a hero. He's a jerk, like
yeah.
media talking head, and like he gets forced into this role and stuff like that. He doesn't like he's not a hero at the beginning, and so it starts off dark, and it kind of gets darker because like the way he dies and stuff. She straight up executes him so many times, and like it's a dark film. And then at the end, they're like, "Wink, wink, we win." I don't know.
And by the end, though, that's like part of his character arc is all of a sudden he becomes a hero. By the end, that's cool. That's cool. Tom Tom thought the ending was too blunt. Great. All right. Well, let's see here. So we saw let's see which one do you think had a better trailer there. We talked through both of them, but
No, but yeah. Well, I'll say this. Numbers wise, I would say that Groundhog Day is definitely the more effective trailer because Groundhog Day made 7.2 times its budget, and Edge of Tomorrow made 2.1 times its budget.
I like that math.
Yeah, I mean that's a pretty effective trailer.
That's a good argument.
And they did say, "Go ahead." I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say I still remembered the trailer from my youth,
Yeah.
and I don't remember the Edge of Tomorrow trailer at all. So
Yeah.
like I remember the movie, but I don't remember the trailer sticking with me. So you know what I mean? Like some trailers you will
Yeah,
see
for
them
sure.
and they stick with you. I still remember the What About Bob trailer where all of a sudden there's yeah, and then he says, "Is this some radical new therapy?" That's like
Yeah.
I know that only from the trailer. Like so, some of them stick with you. That one did. So I say we give the point to. I almost said what about Bob to Groundhog Day. So, all right. Let me see.
Yeah, I was gonna say that earlier. They were saying that they think that one of the reasons it didn't do so well, is because of the advertising and stuff. Besides the poster, the trailer,
Like
and stuff
product
like
placement? What do you mean advertising?
or like the trailer and the poster and stuff
Oh,
for
okay.
Edge of Tomorrow. They think. I think that it was just Tom Cruise was in a slump at that time, and nobody cared about his movies besides Mission Impossible. Like honestly, because that's whenever I was reading the article too, they were talking about Oblivion, and I was like, that's the only reason I knew the name of the movie, because I was like, I have no idea what that movie is. I don't even know what that is.
It's good.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it probably, but he was just in a slump at that time, and so people were just like, whatever. Now he's king of the world again.
Yeah, winning cures everything. Just don't go on
Yeah.
Oprah's show and jump on the couch again. That's what you gotta not do. Um. All right. Well,
I love
which
chaos.
which movie is more redundant? Which one do you think is more? Which movie is more redundant? Which movie do you think is more redundant, Curtis?
Hmm. Um.
Which movie is more redundant? Um. It's Groundhog Day. Sorry. We had to do that. Okay. Now let's see here. Which one had the best story? Which one was more redundant? Just kidding. Which one had the best story? Which one would you say had the best story?
So, I mean, you almost got to go with Groundhog Day because it started it all. Like, there's so any time loop movie now is inspired by Groundhog Day. I mean, and even if you didn't know this, Majora's Mask was actually inspired. The game, the Legends of Zelda game, was actually inspired by Groundhog Day as well.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Um, and so, the story for Groundhog Day is obviously at the time unique. Still is. I mean, the story for Live Die Repeat is a really cool story. Having the aliens have the ability, but okay, so this is
The-
where I got to give it.
They're
Go ahead.
similar, but they are two different stories. You know what I mean? Like, then it's not the same story.
Yeah, but that why I think that besides that Groundhog Day, kind of started it all. I've got to give it to Groundhog Day because again, for Live Die Repeat or Edge of Tomorrow, it wasn't fleshed out enough. They had this really cool idea with the aliens having the ability. They didn't fully explain it to us, and you don't always need that, but like it didn't. I'm still unsure of the rules of the time travel and how and stuff like that. They didn't, even if it is perfectly there for a super fan who's like, it's right there. Just watch this scene, and he says that.
Yeah.
Great, man. But it didn't, translate all the way to me. So
Just like that device. Here, stick this in that device, and our mad
yeah,
scientist magically knows how to make this device that will transmit.
yeah, exactly.
Why? How? But science. He's a scientist. Science, and
Yeah.
you just stick that into your blood. It'll transmit to the omega, and you're the alpha now. Oh, how do you know all this stuff? How does
Yeah.
the mad
What?
scientist? He was so smart that he got fired from the government, and he's got secret technology that he figured out. Like it's a real easy. That's a real convenient.
MacGuffin. It's a MacGuffin. Like,
Yeah, completely. And so that those little things are kind of funny, and also the ending, which we'll talk about the ending in a little
yeah.
bit. But the ending, it's like, wait a minute. So,
And that's the thing too. He's going all off of all of this information from assumedly one day from um, Rita and one day from Tom Cruise. No, well, I guess Rita could have lived, and then, uh, you know what I mean? Because she went to him,
who is he? Oh, you're talking about
the
the
scientist guy.
scientist, yeah.
Like he's got to have something to
Well,
study and some theory to work off of.
he'd been studying alphas and omegas, or alphas, for a while, and aliens for a while. Like this war's been happening. This has been happening, and he's maybe gotten alien corpses and other aliens, and
Yeah.
and tested and done weird things to figure out how they communicate, and science. But even before he even met her, she didn't in fact find him until
What?
she didn't find him until he was already fired. You know what I mean, or like outcast. So it's
Yeah.
like he's been working on the alien stuff for a while.
But okay, not to pick it apart. I mean, totally to pick it apart.
I'm just
But
defending. I'm defending here.
no. But now you're making me think of something else. He said the chances of seeing an alpha were 1 in 618 million. Okay, I remember that because it's the golden ratio, 1.618. And so, how was he able to study one? And the alphas are the ones that transmit the time slip signal. So Like I'm sure he studied the grunts. So okay,
Yeah.
now it's falling apart even more. But yeah, Groundhog Day.
um, and
Especially if Ned Ryerson's the devil. It makes perfect sense.
and if it, yeah, that even makes more sense. And like, whoa, yeah. But yeah, so I'm trying to figure that out, and then there's only one Omega. How do you even know? Well, they only know about the Omega because of the visions. That's the only reason that they know about the Omega.
Right.
So that makes sense. But like, really,
Yeah.
how do you know? How do you know? You think that? How do you know that these things are transmitting to the mother alien? Because Tom Cruise, Curtis, says Kaz. Yeah, so it's
Fair point.
yeah. There's a lot of stuff going on here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a lot going on here, and we're like, what do I do with this? Just she just sticks it into his leg.
Yeah.
Oh, and then my eyes turn black, and now I understand. I don't know. There's a lot of that. But I love sci-fi. I love stupid plots that you know. Man, I'll give anybody the benefit of the doubt. You know what I mean? Clint likes everything. People are like, dude, it was so dumb. Blah, blah. Like, whatever, dude. It was fun. And that's my most important thing. But I don't know. I'm gonna agree with you. And also the ending, which again we're gonna discuss, that completely f's up the story for me to where I'm like, okay, let's fight about this in a little bit. So I'm gonna agree with you. I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna give it to Groundhog Day. I also. Whoops! I didn't mean to do that. Groundhog Day. Also, I like that there's a lot of layers to the story and human development. And it actually takes you on a trip and with the main character.
Yeah,
and I liked sitting around afterwards thinking about that movie, and I'm like, I'm actually having like this is a relatable thing. Like human beings going to work every day, just doing what feels good and going through the motions are living in Groundhog Day. And how many people get a chance or make the opportunities to better themselves and learn how to do new things and be good to people. And that's when you escape out of your Groundhog Day, is when you actually learn to play piano or learn to do something different instead of the same routine, and actually be good and help people and do nice things and be a nice guy instead of just trying to lure this chick into your bed. You know what I mean? Like it's like
totally.
It's a complete human development example story. Like I like it. So anyway, so it's a good story, so we're going to give the point to Groundhog Day. God dog it, that's not what I meant to do. I meant to come over here.
No, but it's actually perfect for the it's actually perfect for this episode.
Yeah.
Welcome, Mel.
Mel, what's up? Mel, you made it. You didn't twist your ankle in the snow, did you?
Watch out for that first step. It's a doozy.
Just kidding. All right. All right. Let's see here. So, okay. Well, how about the cast? Who had the best cast?
Well.
Let's see. Boom. All right. We got Bill Murray, Andy McDowell, Harold Ramis, Chris Elliott, Brian Doyle Murray, Bill Murray's brother. You know, Bill Murray's got two other brothers who are actors.
I did not.
Yeah. Ned, Stephen Tobolowsky, Marita, I don't know any of these other people. No offense, people, if y'all are watching the show. Let's see here. Yeah. So that's the main cast. And then Edge of Tomorrow, you got Emily Blunt, Tom Cruise, Bill Paxton, Brendan Gleeson. That's pretty strong. And then
the other people.
Then the other people who I don't know until you get to Franz Drema, who's Ford. This guy right here. He is from the Legends of Tomorrow on the CW.
Okay.
And I recognize Noah Taylor, Dr. Carter, but that's about it.
Yeah, I recognize that guy a little bit, but yeah.
Yeah. And then Harry Landis, I don't know, the old man number 3 over here. What, is that a statue? What's going on with that picture?
It almost looks like claymation.
It really does. It's tell them Large Marge sent you. All right. Well, all right. We've got these few up here, up top, and then we've got these few up here, which actually the top row up here on Groundhog Day is pretty legit.
True, but Harold Ramis is only in it for like one cameo scene. And I don't know why. I've just never liked Andie MacDowell. I don't know. She's one of those people. I don't know why she's famous. Like, I don't. And I'm not trying to be mean, but I don't.
Why are you being mean, dude?
I don't think she's a great actress. I don't think she's obviously not ugly, but like
it's because she's nice.
Super beautiful, or she is very nice. But I mean, and I'm over here talking shit about her. So yeah, I'm sorry. She's an amazing lady, but I don't know why she's famous.
All right, I think we're gonna give it to
yeah.
I think just Bill Paxton alone is and Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt. I think we're
Emily Blunt and Paxton. Basically, run that.
And Brendan Gleeson's pretty badass too.
He is, yeah. I was thinking, I'm trying to think. He's been in a ton of crap, but I just can't think of it.
And what else we got going on here?
He was in Gangs of New York. He was in. Anyway, yeah.
All right. Well, the winner is Edge of Tomorrow.
You're right the first time, Kaz. It wins because of Paxton. Oh no, that was Bobby. Yep. Bobby said for Paxton. Sorry,
that's kind of what that kind of leaned me in that direction. All right. Plus Groundhog Day's got a little bit of a lead, so they can afford the loss.
But Andie MacDowell was in a ton of crap at that time. If you remember.
Yeah, she was in a bunch. There's another lady that looks like her too. That but is a different actress.
I think I know who you're talking about.
I just can't think of her name. Yeah, but you know, tall brunette with curly hair. Let's see. All right, let's see. What else we got? We got
dude.
What?
A little bit off topic, but speaking of McDowell, why is Malcolm McDowell in so many crappy movies? Like, he's a successful actor, isn't he? Is there something I'm missing? He's like, he's not a superstar, but
Malcolm McDowell, the one that looks like Sting's dad, the one that's from Clockwork Orange.
Yeah,
yeah.
Like, he's a successful actor. He's in so many shitty movies. Like, I was watching. I like shitty movies. And I watched them, and I'm like, why is he in this? Like, what is going on? Like, why? I don't know. Maybe he just either needs the money or he gets bored easy. I don't know.
Well, we're gonna look him up real fast.
Like, it was just amazing.
We're looking him up real quick just because. Whoop. Malcolm McDowell, Sting's dad. Just kidding.
Yes.
I want to look up. Let's see what his movies are.
So showing the big ones there, but
all right, we got Clockwork Orange, Caligula, Halloween, Father Stew, If, Oh Lucky Man, Halloween 2, Time After Time, Cat People,
Time After Time.
Blue Thunder. I thought you said shitty movies. Blue Thunder's legit. That's like the poor man's Airwolf. Airwolf is the rich man's Blue Thunder. We got 31, The Big Ugly, Home Alone, The Holiday, Aces High, Tank Girl. Tank Girl is a quality film, starring Gwen Stefani, and then Star Trek Generations, Doomsday. I was kidding, of course. She Will. I haven't heard of any of these movies, dude. Britannia Hospital, Easy A. I remember that one. Evelinka. Avalenko, Silent Night, Milk Money, The Passage, Forbidden Orange, and A Clockwork Orange. Wait a minute. That's a Clockwork Orange cartoon? Weird. Look up here. Yeah, it's like he's got the look up here. American Satan, so. Bombshell. I never saw Bombshell. Some kind of beautiful. Gangster #1. Silent Hill. They're starting to get a little more familiar sometimes.
Death Race 2050.
Assassin.
From 2017. Death Race. Not the original Death Race.
Firestarter, Rekindled. All right.
Yeah.
There's a lot of satanic movies in here too. And horror.
Yeah. Well, that's mostly I watch his crappy horror. And yeah, he was in I was just watching The Curse of King Tut's Tomb the other day. And it's terrible. And I was like, and it's like all these nobodies in there, and then it's like, is that Malcolm McDowell? Like, what is going on?
What is he doing in here? That's funny. Oh boy.
So
all right. Well, let's get into best.
The next time somebody starts a conversation like, hey, I was watching this really shitty movie, you can be like, the one with Malcolm McDowell? And they'll be like, yeah.
Malcolm McDowell. Which theme did you like more? What do you mean by theme? Well, here we go. Theme. I looked up on Masterclass just so I could spell it out articulately. For the audience, the theme...
It's pronounced meme. They pronounce it meme.
Okay, now. It's like, is it a GIF or a GIF? For the audience, the theme provides a universal way to engage with the film's specific subject matter. Strong themes are also what makes a film stick with you long after the initial viewing. For filmmakers, the theme is the main idea and a guide during the creative process. When choosing between different possible plot developments as you write, you can ask yourself, which option relates more to my theme? Hey, that's interesting. The more you know. And then 10 classic movie themes and why they matter. You got love. Who doesn't love a good love story? Humanity versus technology. Who doesn't like Terminator? Sacrifice. Who doesn't like Frodo in Lord of the Rings? Good versus evil. Star Wars. Good side. The dark side of the Force. Death. Perseverance. Coming of age. Family drama. Reason versus faith, justice. These are all themes. So the themes for Groundhog Day and Edge of Tomorrow. I almost said Legends of Tomorrow. Groundhog Day, I guess, is like what, like development,
yeah, change and development for Groundhog Day. I would say, yeah, like you basically described it very well in the last question when you were talking about
it's almost a coming of age. It's a self realization, really. And it starts off from a selfish place. He's a selfish prick, and he basically gets chopped down and builds himself back up, but it's a learning to not be a selfish bastard. And also, his motivations while he's trying to win this girl over are selfish the whole time. Once he finally figured out, you know what, the only thing that really matters is being good to people and helping people out and trying to be a better person. That's when he won, or when he signed his soul to the devil. One of the two. One of the two, depending on what your interpretation of this movie is. And then what do we have for Edge of Tomorrow? This is more of a sacrifice thing,
It would be, but I think perseverance, from what you would say, definitely perseverance, and maybe what was it, science versus or humanity versus technology or something like that.
Sort of, yeah. But he's basically it's a perseverance thing, but it's also it's a kind of a hybrid of perseverance. And sacrifice, because he realizes he's got to sacrifice himself and even her. And then it turns into a love story because he's also now he's got to sacrifice. And then all of a sudden he's like, how do I sacrifice myself? How do I do this? Even sacrificing ever knowing her to save her life. You know what I mean? Like all of a sudden that becomes a motivation. It's like I just want to save her too. And
Mhm.
how do I pull this off with her living? And
Yeah.
that's an interesting thing we'll talk about when we get to the ending discussion. Um, but
Bobby makes a good point. It was about change as well, like we talked about earlier. He was, and she reiterates, he wasn't a hero in the beginning, and he does become a hero. So his is about change as well. So I wanted to, because I was kind of like, nah, it's not really about change, but
yeah,
sorry,
well he's kind of a weakling in the beginning. You know what I mean? And
sucks.
I I think also though the idea that there's no stakes helped him. It's almost like cheating. He becomes
Yeah,
good because he's not scared of dying
yeah,
anymore. Like, you know, that's the only it's like, "Oh, no problem. I'll do that again." And he learns through the whole thing because he's not scared to die.
yeah. And that's and he treats it, obviously treats it differently once he knows he can. Um, but I don't know. And then
Well,
see, I think this is kind of going back. I think this is one of the issues with it. I don't know if it has a main theme. It has several themes, but I don't know if it has a main theme that you know
I think
that
they
it,
changed the theme
yeah,
to
yeah,
try to make this a friendly Hollywood movie to where
yeah,
like I think the theme of this it was perseverance to sacrifice,
hmm,
you know, to save the world. And I think at the end they decided to play into the love story because you got
yeah,
Emily Blunt there and Tom Cruise, but you know you could have made that a thing that you know in another world it could have been but we had to save the world and it's a that's almost a romantic ending to two people that you know give each
yeah.
other that glance like but you know and then die doing it like that's one thing uh
Or
rather
if he
than
had been, if he had been like because he was like you said, he was just trying to save her. He's like, I know I'm gonna die, but I'm like, as long as I can make it sure she's okay, figured out some way to where you know she was able to make it, and then he didn't. But
yeah and that's well which thing see I'm gonna go for my own pick. Which is kind of a weird question. Which theme did you like better? You know, to break these movies down this way, but it's fun to think about the motivations, what, why, and what these characters are doing. I'm gonna go with the Bill Murray movie. I like Groundhog Day. I think it's cool that he's a creep
mhm.
and but he learns to be good because I think that kind of shows us that that there's hope for all of us because he's a total douchebag in the beginning and
Mhm.
uh and it also says hey man um you know anybody can get stuck in a loop but if you try to do some good in the world instead of trying to get the girl or you know or whatever or get whatever you're going for if you just quit selfishly going for it. If you just do what you're supposed to be doing, just do what's right and good, everything will fall into place for you.
Yeah,
You just gotta do what's right. So
and yeah, I agree, and I think it mainly because I like what you're saying, and what you said earlier, how you can relate it to it, obviously because aliens aren't attacking, but relate it to more to human life, or to a regular existence, to where it's like, yeah, the days are changing, and yeah, the weather's changing a little bit, but a lot of times when you get stuck in a rut, it is kind of like Groundhog Day, and
yeah,
you got to, yeah,
having a job that you don't really like and you just go to work every day. I mean, you need the job, but you
yeah,
just go over and over, and every day becomes the same, and every week becomes the same, every year, and then it slowly turns into months and months and months and months and months. It's,
and you don't
uh,
realize it until holidays, and like somebody's like, "What are you doing?" And you're like, "The same fucking thing."
yeah.
Like, yeah, well,
And if you loved what you were doing, you wouldn't have answered like that. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But
yeah,
so it's like
yeah, totally.
so you and that's the story of most people, to be honest, but you get your
Yeah.
joy in other ways. You got kids, you got hobbies and things, and that's how you get your joy. But I think making an effort to improve yourself
Mhm.
is important, and I like that Bill Murray does that in this movie, in this fictional movie, and I hope that all of us in real life, even if it's just little things, try to do better. So there you go.
Indeed, sir.
Hey, where'd my thing go? I was trying to give myself applause, and it didn't work.
Just hit the Groundhog Day thing again.
There we go. Yeah. So it's Groundhog Day.
Hey, saw that damn shadow.
All right.
The time of year when we get together to worship our rodent.
Let's see here. All right. So I guess who did you pick? Did you on that one? Did you
Yeah,
also pick
Groundhog.
I didn't give the point. So which Chris Klink would be calling me out for that later. I was told that sometimes I don't mark the points and I just keep talking. So I'm going to make sure and mark the point.
Well,
All right. What do we got? I feel like my life is a loop and I love it. I get to do nothing all day now.
that's true.
Yeah.
There's some loops that.
Well, that's a good loop.
I love that Bill Murray says that though. He's like, uh, I was in Barbados and I met this girl and we had sex all day and ate lobster. Why couldn't I get stuck in that day? He's like, I got stuck in this day.
Yeah, that's a good loop. You get to play Animal Crossing all day every day. It's a good loop to be in.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Let's see here. All right, which one of these do you think is a better date movie?
Hmm. I don't know. I mean, Edge of Tomorrow would be a good date movie. It's action. It's uh uh does have romantic elements. It's I think it'd be a good it's a good popcorn movie. It'd be a good date movie. But see, and go ahead.
I think that would be more fun of a movie to
Yeah.
watch. I think
And some people didn't like Groundhog Day the first time they watched it. My wife, one of them, she was like, and like she likes it now because I've made her watch it over and over again. but like honestly, the first time I made her watch it, like, but they didn't, you know, the time loop aspect really bothers some people. Um, and Harold Ramis even mentioned something about that, and he was like, "It's supposed to annoy you a little bit because you're supposed to imagine how he would feel after that many days of actually living through it." He was like, "So we didn't want it to bother people too much, but it's supposed to bother you a little bit."
a little bit, yeah.
So yeah, so that might be the same with Edge of Tomorrow, but I don't. It's less noticeable, I think.
Yeah, just tomorrow they make it fun to where they're like again, again,
Yeah.
again, and just like and all shooting him in the face and stuff. Where it's like that's a fun way of doing it.
And what's good about Tomorrow that helps with that is that he's got someone not in the loop with him, but that understands. Bill Murray just looks like a crazy person anytime he tries to tell somebody. So
Yeah.
having her in the loop with him, at least emotionally, or
Yeah, she
in the
gets
same,
it.
yeah, getting it, helps a lot. So yeah, I think Edge of Tomorrow is probably a better date movie.
All right, let's get some points for Edge of Tomorrow. Those are my sound effects. All right, let's see here. I caught you twirling your mustache. All right, let's see here. Oh boy, can you imagine if you had to watch one of these for the rest of your life? Which one would you pick? Can you imagine how redundant that would be? Can you imagine how redundant that would be? Just kidding.
God. I've seen Groundhog Day, like I said, probably every year on Groundhog Day. I'm one of those weird people that does crap like that. Um, I
You don't need to watch it this time because you just saw it.
but I I probably still enjoy it more. I don't know about more. They are different enough to where it's hard to say more. But one movie for the rest of my life. I don't know. I don't know if I would enjoy watching Emily Blunt for the rest of my life more than I would enjoy or be bothered by the more I watch it, the more I pick apart the script. I don't know. You know,
Maybe you'd
like,
maybe you would come to understand what happened at the end. You would unlock the Da Vinci Code. You'd crack the Da
and then,
Vinci Code on it.
and then once I do, I'm out of the time loop and I can watch other movies. That'd be amazing. But I don't know about this one. You got to answer first on this one.
What does this say? There's no way Edge of Tomorrow loses. Clint's on James Gunn's payroll confirmed. What does James Gunn's have to do with this? I wouldn't want to live to be 100 if I have to watch one of these every day forever. Young Frankenstein all day.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
I think I'd have to pick Dumb and Dumber. Dumb and Dumber or Three Amigos. I think I'm burnt out on Three Amigos finally.
I don't know. I guess I'd pick something really long so that you could, parse it out. So
Braveheart.
maybe.
Pulp Fiction. No, I've already seen that enough.
Yeah, I've seen that one a lot.
By the way, I've been watching this show called Kunk the World on it's a comedy mockumentary series on Netflix. The person delivering is named Philomena Kunk, Cunk, and it's a character. It's not real. And the thumbnail's kind of bad because it looks like it's a drama. But I posted about this on Facebook. This documentary, it's a mockumentary series. There's 5 episodes it's about 30 minutes an episode, and they basically go through the history of the world, and she is hilarious. Like, she's talking to real historians and real people about things, and she says some things deadpan, and most of them just think that she's dumb, and they don't realize she's messing with them. And it's very much like a Borat Ali G kind of situation where she's messing with these people, and they think they're on a real documentary, and they're talking about Alexander the Great or like all these different things, and it's really funny. So I want more of this content. I want this thing to be successful, so I'm telling everybody, go watch it. Kunk the World. It's hilarious. Which it sounds like I just said something rude, but her name is actually Diane Morgan. She's a really funny British comedian, and she's also on Afterlife she's redhead in The Office on Afterlife. If you've seen that show, but with Ricky Gervais. But anyway, so check that out. But anyway, I didn't mean to go off on a side tangent.
No, that's I'm gonna check that out now.
It's just like Loudermilk. I've stumbled onto this, and I'm like, wow, I love this. This needs to be seen.
Yeah, I think I started watching that one.
Loudermilk is it's pretty damn hilarious. I'm trying to find a image to throw up on the screen and everything.
Nobody wants to see your Kunk.
Yeah, I'm going to show you my Kunk. Yeah. So if you see this, wait for it. There we go. If you see that, that looks like
looks like Jennifer Aniston.
It looks like it's a serious British drama. Like, you know what I mean? It looks like some BBC drama. Yeah, but she's going around and it's a documentary, and it's just hilarious. So go watch that, everybody. All right, there we go. I did my public service announcement for the day. So,
would James Gunn pay to
yeah, what the hell
promote
does
that show?
James Gunn and what do I have something to do with? Like, what's going on here? Groundhog Day was especially day, especially when he makes ice sculptures of her face. Practice makes perfect. Yeah, and he learns to play the piano, and he does a bunch of cool stuff. Let's see here. So where are we with this?
Oh, there it is. There.
So if you had to watch one of these for the rest of your life, I'm going Edge of Tomorrow.
I mean, I guess I'll. Yeah, I guess I'll go. I think I'm gonna go Edge too because I've seen Groundhog Day plenty. So it's gonna get old faster, and I'd rather watch Emily Blunt than Andy McDowell. So,
Yeah,
but it's got Tom Cruise in it. Oh my god!
Oh man, what are you gonna do?
It didn't bother me that much in this movie.
Emily Blunt's perfect in this movie. She's amazing. Yep. Let's see here. All right. Well, I'm giving the point to Edge of Tomorrow. Almost said Legends of Tomorrow again.
Edge. Oh, and if you watched Royal Rumble, Edge came out for like, good 3 minutes and just wrecked shop, but then he got cheated.
Edge from U2, the guitar player?
No. No. The old school wrestler.
I'm just kidding.
that would be awesome though.
That'd be even better. All right, let's see here. All right. Let's see here. Which movie had a more likable main character, would you say? They're both start out as douchebags, so that's a easy one.
Yeah. I do like Bill Murray by the end. Because the way he changes stuff, like I like him by the end. Tom Cruise he's more likable, but I don't know.
I think we're going to be deadlocked. Because I feel like Bill Murray is still a douchebag even at the end. Like I know he changes, but I'm like, this movie is the least likable I've ever seen Bill Murray in a movie. I always like Bill Murray, and I'm like, I don't like him in this movie. I don't know why.
Yeah,
weird.
Because I mean, he plays an asshole really well. Like he
yeah.
And
you said he's going through divorce and stuff. I wonder if that's just like translating to his performance, and he's not getting along with he's not getting along with Harold Ramis, and maybe he's just radiating negative. I don't know.
Yeah, but by the end, like the scene, like honestly, to me, the scenes where it is not really the Andy, like when he actually gets out with the Andy McDowell stuff, it's but like when he's trying to save the homeless guy and stuff like that, that's like he's like, I'm not gonna let this happen. And how many times did he do that? And how many different ways did he try to? And it was just that old dude's time, like.
Yeah, that's an interesting part of that movie too. It's like you know what, like when it's someone's time, it's someone's time. It's just like a thing, and no matter how many times he goes through the loop, he's got to come to accept that that's just the way it is, and there's nothing you can do about it, which is crazy.
Yeah. But I mean, Tom Cruise was more likable by the end, but honestly, like I to me that in that movie, Emily Blunt should have been the main character. I think. I mean, obviously it's a different movie then, but I think we should have seen more of her character. So I'm gonna go Groundhog Day.
Groundhog Day.
We're tied up here.
Yeah. What do they? What do you guys think? Who is a more likable character, Tom Cruise or Bill Murray? Oh yeah, WrestleMania.
Yeah. Oh, and thank you. Yes, Bobby. Bobby reminded me about the Royal Rumble, and we were chatting back and forth the whole time. And yeah, Cody Rhodes won. It was a pretty good one.
Yeah. Go to points here. Somebody needs to chime in. Come on, gang.
Ooh, wow. This is an important point too.
Tom Cruise. All right.
But that's a Tom Cruise.
Hey, double. We got a double.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough.
Tom
Uh,
Cruise.
I can see it. I can see it.
I'm telling you, Bill Murray was especially douchey in this movie. He's usually
He
pretty
was. He
likable.
was.
Okay, which one?
Uh,
Which film was more inspirational? I gotta say, just right out of the gate, I'll go with Groundhog Day on this one.
yeah.
Uh, like
This
you
was.
said,
Yeah.
him trying to revive the old guy multiple times, and all of a sudden, they had to break him down and then he builds himself back up. It's like
Yeah. Yeah. Easily. Instead of just memorizing where the aliens are going to be, he actually has to do these things of self-realization.
yeah,
Like, um, it's interesting too because you were talking about Bill Murray wanted to take it to a darker place. I did read something about Harold Ramis saying that they were gonna had the idea or kind of wanted to go down the road of where like he just like any or not any but many humans would like he like murders people and like goes down the darkest roads a human can go and it still doesn't change anything.
Harold Ramis
But he's
wanted to
trying
do
to
that.
well, that was kind of originally part of the story, and he wanted to go down that road a little bit, but then he was like, "We can't even, it's not his." Like they just left it out. Um, he said they decided the darkest they would go would be like the suicide stuff,
Yeah,
and because he even and then he was like that even seemed a little dark, but they
yeah,
played off well.
they did, and for a character arc for an '80s movie too, it's like you
Yeah,
know what I mean. Like now you have all kinds of crazy places they go, but for a mainstream movie in the '80s, like
yeah,
they're
yeah,
it's good guy gets into a little trouble, good guy gets into a lot of trouble, good guy redeems himself, happy ending. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
that's like the normal character arc or movie plot outline, and like for that to go that dark would be messed up. But yeah, Bill Murray wanted to get more philosophical about things.
mm,
Apparently, I don't know. And then Harold Ramis is like, "Dude, this is a comedy, man. We got to
yeah,
make it fun." So, but it does make sense for him to be like, he's trying over and over and over, and then finally he's like, okay, I can't handle this anymore. You'd start to go
yeah,
crazy. You start to go
yeah,
crazy. Then he just
yeah.
starts trying to kill himself, and then I shouldn't say it on YouTube because
Yeah, I don't.
yeah, don't say that. But he gets driven to the point of insanity, and then turns around after that. Is like, well, I can't do that.
That didn't work. Yeah.
So now what am I gonna do? I guess I'm gonna make myself better. I'm like, dude, you should have started there in the first place. You know what I mean? Like, make yourself better. But
Well, and that's a good point too because it shows how much. And I don't know if it means to, but like now that we're talking about it, like how much people fight that. Like it's obviously most people think that you know they are not the problem. Like when even me and everybody to a certain degree, some people never realize it.
yeah,
And for most of us, we can realize it after a good you know bit of evidence. But like that's the thing is that like it kind of shows you like even he after with all of this going on, it's hard for him to realize that he's the problem, and then he's the thing that because he can't change anything else. He's tried repeatedly, so the only thing left that he can change is himself. Wow, man, Clint, you're nailing it on this one.
it's
You
deep.
only seen it once. I've seen it like 600 times, and I'm
Yeah,
like, oh god, I'm gonna go watch that fucking movie again.
yeah. Really like I thought about that movie. I'm like, this is a corny '80s Bill Murray movie, but I'm like thinking about that, and I've at times in my own life been trapped in a loop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like kind of just thinking about that. I was like, that's really interesting. Um,
Mhm.
well, let's give them the point. I think they deserve it. Boom.
Well, and apparently the writer, they say in the trivia, I just thought remember this one. He wanted to start the movie, the opening of the film, to be at 6 a.m. Sonny and Cher song comes on, and Bill Murray's in the loop, and the audience doesn't know yet, and like they have to figure it out. Like that's how he wrote it, and you have to figure it out. And he only allowed or sold it or allowed Harold Ramis to do it if he promised not to change the opening, which he did, and then he changed it. Like, so, but it's like interesting if like I'd like to see his original script and like or maybe see somebody take it in a lot more of these deeper directions. Maybe although Groundhog Day is great, like less comedy, less romantic stuff, you know, or like it might be a great series, or I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah, that would be a crazy series. That would be like Burn Notice. Burn
I never saw
Notice,
that one.
it's
I
exactly
know
the
what you're talking
same
about, but
show every time. Doesn't matter. It just like Special Victims Unit with Ice-T.
oh yeah, oh yeah,
It's the same
yeah.
show every time. It just ding ding. You hear it's the same shit.
Exactly.
That's what Groundhog Day would be like. He would just go through the motion. That might actually be successful because people like comfort shows that
Well,
aren't
that's what I was about
that
to
don't
say.
deviate
You just
too.
proved that it's successful.
Yeah, and so it'd be the same thing, but he just try every season. Man, I don't know. That would be weird. Yeah, like the whole season, he's just trying to get the girl, and it's just different
Yeah.
things. That's actually a good idea for a show.
And then when he gets slapped in the face, you hear, bing, bing.
Yeah. Okay, let's see what else we got. What else we got?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say probably most of the time people need to get bonked on the head a few times. That's kind of how it works, Bobby. I think you're right.
Yes. Let's see here. How about this? Which of these movies deserves a sequel? Hold on, I'm going to amend this. Bear with me. Oh, I can't. Oh, I can. Hold on a second here. I'm going to do my magic.
I got the magic in me.
Just bear with me 1 second.
If you don't come back on screen holding a teddy bear, no, because you said bear with me. And if you don't have a bear with you,
come on, man.
Back on screen. Can't have you lying to the people.
I just amended the question.
Very well done. Very well done, sir.
All right.
Did you give Groundhog that point? You did.
Did I?
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Did I?
What are we at? 5-5?
I don't know if I did or not.
No, because we were at 4-4, and then Tom Cruise won. Better.
Well, they're tied now,
hero.
so I hope I did, or I'm going to hear about it later.
You did. You did.
All right. So, which one deserves a prequel or a sequel?
I gotta say, yeah, you got it right on the money, Cats. I don't really want to see a sequel for it. There apparently a sequel to Edge of Tomorrow is in the works and has been since like 2017. I'm not too interested in that. I would like to see a Groundhog Day or Edge of Tomorrow prequel with Emily Blunt's character, and not just because I want to see more of Emily Blunt. Like I want to see like her, her going through that and learning it with nobody. Like that's what I mean. He had Emily Blunt to be like, hey, let me tell you all about this shit. Like she's got to learn it on her own, like Bill Murray did. And I'd rather see that as a prequel.
Yeah, and she's running through there with a giant sword, hacking up aliens. She was badass. I would love to see that. That's right up my alley. Like and it's a cool story, and you make it some kind of story to where she saved that battle, you know what I mean, and they win that battle, and that's where you basically end the movie.
Well, and that's the thing too, is that they find out that battle was a farce. They only wanted to let the humans win to get their hopes up, and like that's the thing too. It's this grand, she wins and blah blah blah, and then it is a dark ending. Like, oh crap, we won, and then until Tom Cruise shows up on the beach, and bam, perfect ending right there.
Yeah. And I also wouldn't mind a sequel where Tom Cruise resets everything to save Emily Blunt, where like where it's to the point that he even won You know what I mean? Like they even won and blew up the aliens at the end, but he went back because he didn't like losing Emily Blunt. Maybe he thought he could do it by himself. Maybe and has to go back and do it by himself or find a different way without her.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well,
but
that like, go ahead.
I was going to say, and that ties. We're going to talk about the ending here in a second, and it's a boy. There's a lot to this ending, for that movie.
What?
So which one would you? So I would say I don't really want to see a prequel or a sequel to Groundhog Day. So I'm gonna vote for Edge of Tomorrow for sequel or prequel.
Yeah, I mean, I could see him doing something maybe with Groundhog Day, but it's one of those ones I don't really want him to necessarily mess it up.
Groundhog Day
You know,
2.
yeah. It's, yeah, never mind. No, I don't want. Yeah, I don't want him to mess it up. Edge of Tomorrow definitely deserves a prequel.
All right.
They might be able to pull off a sequel, but I just have less interest in that.
I don't know. I don't know how. How would they pull that off? Like, what? Do you really care where they ended up?
Who?
Yeah, I mean, do you really want to see? You want to see where Andy McDowell and Bill Murray ended up?
No, no,
They're
no,
like
no,
grandparents and
no. If I said I meant Edge of Tomorrow. Like,
Edge of Tomorrow. Like we said
yeah.
that battle with Emily Blunt, you can make a prequel with her, and it would be fantastic.
No, that's what I mean. So I'd rather see that prequel. A sequel to it, like maybe okay, but like, yeah, the prequel is what I want.
Well, the sequel, all they got to do is another round of aliens showed up. You know what I mean? Like more of
Yeah,
them showed up.
yeah.
Basically, Avatar. They're back. All right.
Oh crap!
Not again.
Let's do the same thing we did last time. No, we can't for some reason.
All right, let's see. But the second time they don't accidentally get an alpha's blood on them, and then everyone dies, and then it's over.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
who had the best stunts and choreography, and fight choreography, and or fight choreography? Well, here's some stunts in. Here are some stunts in Groundhog Day. Oh, look here. There's a stunt.
Yeah.
Up.
Don't do this at home, guys.
Don't do that.
Don't do
That's
it.
not cool. There's a stunt.
Yeah. Yeah, but Tom Cruise did that. Same thing.
Tom Cruise jumps out of airplanes. He's ridiculous.
Well, there you
There's a
go. Same
stunt.
thing.
Stunt. I wonder how many mattresses they stacked for that guy to land on. Yeah, that's about it for stunts on Groundhog Day. But then I gotta wonder, are the Tom Cruise stunts or the Edge of Tomorrow stunts, is that just a bunch of CGI or are there some real stunts happening there? Talk to me about stunts over here, Curtis.
They definitely. I mean, they had a lot of wire work going on. Apparently, those suits weighed 85 pounds. So and the trivia also said Emily Blunt cried when she put it on because she was like, I can't, like she couldn't move. He probably weighs like 120, and the suit's like
Yeah.
85 pounds. So she's like literally started crying. But and apparently, yeah, Tom Cruise did all his own stunts, and they were saying, if he wasn't, as good looking and a great actor, he could easily have a job as a stuntman. However, he didn't get bit to hell by a groundhog. He's done a lot of his own stunt work, but he's never been bit by a groundhog. So I'm just saying, like, you seen the teeth on those things? I mean,
Yep.
come on.
Bill Murray had to go to the hospital for that, huh?
He had to go to the hospital. Did Tom Cruise have to go to the hospital? He laughed after they smashed into that tree where Emily Blunt almost killed him. That's not life-threatening. Animal attacks, that's life-threatening.
That's life-threatening. I'm gonna give that to Bill Murray. And yeah, those were virtual aliens. They're not even real aliens. They didn't even use real aliens in this movie.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like.
I like him. I prefer when they do practical effects. Like next time, use real aliens. What the hell?
Just go get an alien. They're everywhere.
All right. Let's see here. All right. So who do you give your point to on this one?
It is hard as it is. Yeah, this is probably going to go to Edge. Like they actually did some real stunts. Um,
Oh man,
and
what the hell,
yeah,
Groundhog Day? You better step it up, Groundhog Day.
oh, it'll be fine. Um, but and yeah, Bobby makes a good point. The like the yoga stuff, even like some of the really complicated ones, or crazy looking ones. Apparently, Emily Blunt could and did do all of those. It's just for the longer scenes and the takes, they had to use wire work for that to hold her up because like she did it for she can hold it and do it, but not for like 3
Yeah,
hours or however long it.
yeah. Like, how many takes are they gonna do? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's wild. Yeah, she I can't imagine like doing that pose that she's
Yeah.
doing on there on your fingertips, planking.
Yeah, and then the one where like there's one where she's got her leg over her head or something, like it's crazy.
Let's see here. All right, how about which movie made you want to take karate lessons more? Well, that's easy for me. I'm gonna have to go with Groundhog Day because karate lessons isn't gonna do anything against those alphas,
That's true.
and I want karate for when Ned comes at me to sell me insurance, and I'm gonna chop his throat. I'm gonna karate chop him in the throat because that guy, Phil, he's the most annoying human on earth. Phil, it's me, Ned. Like, no, yeah, yeah. Dude. That guy's getting full on. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm giving it to Groundhog Day.
Yeah, because and you got to think time frame too. Besides the fact that yeah, karate's not going to help you with those aliens. They were in there for I think the max we had or I had seen was like 300 days. You're not gonna. It's about a year. You're not gonna be a master at karate. But if you're in a time loop for 10 years,
Dude,
I
you
mean,
could
he could be
master
a
some.
black belt. And
Yes,
yeah,
that's what I'm talking about. You could
like,
go do your piano lessons and then go out and do some.
yeah,
Oh,
that's
what does this say here? She was going to stab Cruz, and he said, "No, no, no, I'm out, I'm out." Oh yeah, full on.
oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, those are the best parts of Edge of Tomorrow is when he's training, and he gets injured. She just shoots him in the head. Like it's hilarious because she seems like a sweet human being, and then she's just like, I'm a badass, and then it's like, yep, sorry, gotta kill you now. Bam.
And here's another uh Karate Groundhog. That's the sequel. Um yeah,
Yeah.
that's another thing that too when so whenever he's talking to her about he's like maybe I could give you a blood transfusion and blah 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 and I could give you the power back. Remember he's trying to convince her
Yeah.
Edge of Tomorrow, of that and she's like no, tried it all. And it's like who did you try to give your time traveling blood to? And
Mm.
or like because that's the thing he's expressing it like she's tried it from an
Maybe
acceptance
she
point of
tried to
view.
give her blood to somebody else.
Okay, but that would be a blood transfusion and she would lose the power anyway. So
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And then and then he's like, what about other ways? And she's like, sex, and she's like, tried that too. And it's like, but again, that he's the delivery system in this scenario, that's different. Like it's like that you didn't try, like
Yeah. Maybe she just didn't want to do that.
well, no, obviously, but yeah, no, I agree, but it's like just like with the plot, like because that's what made me think because I'm kind of like hey, Tom, you could have fought for that one a little more there, Tom. You had some logic on your side, but then I was thinking about the blood transfusion thing, and it's like, well, wait, like he's like, can I just give my blood to you? And she's like, no, we've tried that, and it's like, how did you try that. You know, like no,
Yeah.
you didn't.
Hmm.
So
Maybe.
yet
Who
another.
knows? That's
Yeah,
another. There's some very rough. Like I said, like you were saying with the MacGuffin, you like it's
yeah,
like a, because science, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, oh yeah,
yeah.
we tried that.
Alien
Like, yeah,
biology and whatnot.
yeah, you know how that alien stuff works. It's just it's
Just
just trust me,
eat your fucking Fruit Loops. All right,
just
just
trust
shut up
me.
and eat your
Yeah, exactly. Did I give the point to Groundhog Day for the karate?
karate.
Let's look.
I don't
I
think
don't
so.
think I
1, 2,
did.
3, 4, 5. It's been at 5 for a while. So yeah, no, I don't think so.
All right. I hope I'm not cheating here.
No, that's you're right, Bobby. That's how she lost it initially. But she's saying, yeah, when she got the blood transfusion, that's how she lost it. But he was arguing, he was telling her like,
He was saying
hey,
maybe,
can I?
yeah,
Yeah, just take my blood. We can put my blood in you. And she's like, no, we've tried that. And it's like, no, you didn't, because that would be her transferring her blood to somebody else. Like, that's what I mean. Like, there's no way they could have tried
and if they had
her
tried,
receiving blood. Yeah.
if they
Yeah.
had tried, then she would have died because they would have pulled all the
Yeah.
blood out of her.
Yeah.
Unless there was another one before Tom Cruise.
Maybe.
Maybe
But
there
they
was
don't
but they
mention it,
never
you know.
really let you know that.
Yeah.
All right. Getting down to the nitty-gritty. Best explosion. Well, I'm going to have to say this one for me.
Oh my god.
Oh boy. Oh, Phil.
He might be okay.
He might be.
No, probably not.
Maybe not.
And then he just goes back to recording.
Groundhog Day. Yeah, what's your pick for best explosion?
I agree, sir. I agree. Because not only do you get the good line, it goes over and it doesn't explode, you get the good line, then it just does the thing that in movies that cars automatically do, and it's like just sitting there and it just explodes. Like,
all right.
The one who will not be named. And it makes me want to go read the manga, because it might answer some of those questions.
Yeah, the one who will not be named. Who said that? Bobby. Let's see here. All right, getting down. Who the best death or kill? These are some good ones here. I'm gonna speed up. This video shows every time he gets killed, and I love it when he starts just all these. He just keeps getting fried over, splat.
That was my favorite, because
everybody's like, oh no. Yep.
They're like, what was wrong with that guy?
Yeah, over and over and over. It's like, no, I'm okay. Yep. Only thing I can feel. Yep. Over and over and over. It's fun. He's like, no, wait. Over and over. So there was some good kills in this movie. Just a lot of them. He's like, wait, no. All right, I'm getting off there before we get copyrighted. I liked the kills in this one, but then again, you got the toaster. The toaster. I think for kills, got to be honest and go with Edge of Tomorrow. Like,
yeah, I agree. I mean, and again, it kind of wins by default because Bill Murray didn't have to die to be reset. He just had to go to sleep,
Yeah.
and or well, I think it just had to hit 6 a.m. I don't know if he had to be asleep or not, but so it kind of wins by default. And plus, yeah, just all the ones where Emily Blunt's just straight up executing him were kind of the best ones. They were the least, impressive, but they were just kind of the best ones.
Yeah, but he's like, oh no, like he knows, like,
Yeah,
oh great, she's
yeah,
about to shoot me in the face. God, almost reminds me of playing video games. It's like playing Super
Well,
Contra when you're a kid, when you got to like up,
totally.
up, down, up, down, down, left, right, left. I got to 30 lives, man.
Yeah,
What was it, 30 or
totally.
50?
I think it was 30.
I think it was 30. Yeah, and you play forever. Like that's kind of basically what's going on here.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that's basically it took inspiration from Groundhog Day kind of and stuff like that, but I think it was basically going for a much more, because it's almost like it has a save spot, and but from video games, like it took its inspiration from there. It seems like.
Let's see here. All right. Okay, this is the big question here. Okay, this is the big question here.
All right. Big one over here. He's gay.
Yeah. Which movie had the best ending? This is the big question because I got to count the points here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold on. 4, 7.
1, 2.
Oh, Edge of Tomorrow is ahead by 1. So this is a serious question.
This is a serious question
because this may get to. This is going to get into either a tie or a winner. So the best ending. I already know how this is going to go.
Yeah. I think
all right, let's talk, Curtis, and guys at home. Let's talk about the ending. Which one do you want to talk about the ending of first?
We can go Groundhog Day first.
Let's go Groundhog. Yeah, because we're going to be talking about the other one for a second.
Yeah.
I'll get into it. Now, I don't know if he made a deal with the devil or not and signed the paperwork and then everything went according to plan, or if he just figured out, you know what? If I just try to be a better person, everything else will work out. And instead of trying so hard, chasing that, I'm just going to do good. And then she saw how good he was and she fell in love with that. Either way, he falls asleep with her, wakes up, and she's next to him. And all of a sudden, it's not Groundhog Day anymore. And he figured out the secret to life. Don't be an asshole. Try to be a good person. And then he gets the girl at the end. It's a happy ending. And he said, you know what? Screw the big city. I'm going to stay here in this little town. And at the end, and as far as we know, they live happily ever after. It's a pretty good ending.
And I love the fact that they fake you out at the because even after the 100th or however many times I've seen it, I was still like, is this the one where it ends? Is this the one where it ends? Because remember, she sleeps. She's laying there with him. He's laying there, and then the 6 o'clock and the Sonny and Cher song still comes on, but then the radio DJs are like, What? Oh, we're playing that one again? No, we can't play that one again. And then she reaches over and touches, turns it off. And so it was a good fake out too. It's like, so great ending to a great movie.
Yeah, and then we have Edge of Tomorrow. Now, Edge of Tomorrow takes you on an adventure. You're just like Groundhog Day. You're following this guy from the beginning. You're reliving these experiences with him, and you're going through this movie. And by the end, you're rooting for him. You want him to win. You don't want to go back. You don't want to hear anybody say maggot again. You want him to. You're like, oh, not that guy again. It's like you want him to figure out how to do this. And then by the end, you're wondering, how can we do this and get the girl? Because that's become a thing by the end. And then the realization, he's like, I'm going to go distract the alpha. You go kill the omega. And she's like, darn well that you can't, that's not going to work. I have to do this. And I was wondering why, but then I realized he's limping by the end of this thing. He can't run very
Right.
fast, and she's able to sprint. So that's why she said that, and she knew you won't even make it. Like, this is the only way this is going to
It'll
work.
kill you, and then it'll come kill me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so she plays the hero, and she's like, I'm a hero. I'm willing to die for this. We just got to get this done, and let's do it. So she runs off. He gets to the Alpha, jumps down. Before he gets down there, he's got to swim down to the Alpha. Before he gets down there, he gets stabbed by to the Omega. He gets stabbed by an Alpha, but he's pulled the pins of the grenades, and they fall down, blow up the thing. Now, he gets covered with the alien blood, which before he got alpha powers, whenever he got alpha blood, now he's got omega blood all over him. And apparently this gives him the time-changing abilities. Now, the real weird question about this ending is that he all of a sudden flashes back to where we knew him from before, and he's dressed like an officer, and they're calling him Major and all this stuff. But they also report that there's an explosion at the Louvre. And the weird thing that I can't wrap my mind around is, did they die? And they died, and then he flashed back? Like, maybe the alien before was able to flash back and go back, and I still can't wrap my mind around. Be able to flash them back and reset before the death, but maybe because the Omega. It still doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense any way you slice it. Yeah, because you're going back in time. So
so it will be before any of those events.
Yeah, so it does not make sense.
That's why the power is powerful.
I was trying to think, like, maybe because they would die and the Omega would bring them back, but the Omega's not really bringing them back. She's just rewinding time. So
Right.
it's like,
Yeah.
And now so if you're rewinding time, it would undo the murdering of those things. Now, the only thing I thought was, like, maybe he undid it again because he wanted to save Emily Blunt, and he wanted to figure out a way to go through all this mess again, and maybe not lose his team and the girl. Maybe he was like, I could find another way, and that's the only way I can make this movie work, is if he found another way to bomb the Louvre without involving the people that were. That's the only way. If he had a secret way to get over there, or tell the general something, or some way to do that, that's the only way that this works. Otherwise, like you said, the aliens would have survived. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, that's so. Whenever it occurred, because the first time I'm watching it, whenever I watched the ending, I was on board. He gets bathed and I kind of, like, once I saw him get bathed in the Omega blood, I kind of figured, something like this was going to happen. Tom Cruise wasn't going to die, and I was like, okay, I get that. But then he flashes back to a different time point, and I watched some YouTube videos where people matched up, and apparently, he was brought to the. They keep saying 24 hours, and I don't remember that from the movie, but they're like, you only recycle 24 hours back. That's all they can do. That I don't remember that from the movie specifically, but again, they've studied it more. They can be correct, but they did this whole timeline of where whenever he wakes up on the backpacks, it's like later in the afternoon, and then the attack is the next day. So if he defeated the thing at a certain time, he would wake up before he was sent. Something like that. So they say the timelines match up to 24 hours, and I'm still fine with that. But when he goes back,
I don't buy that, because every time every time he woke up on those backpacks being called maggot every single time.
Yeah.
So that's his start point. It didn't matter if he died at 4 hours in or 14 hours in. He always went back to the same.
He could have lived. Yeah, he could have lived for like 3 days, or something like that. He doesn't reset till he dies, but he went back to that point. And then I even read some articles where they compare it to a video game, like, obviously, and they're like, well, that's your save point. And then the last time he had a new save point, and it's like, it doesn't work like that. Even if you beat a game, you go back to your last save file, like you haven't beat the game yet. There might be like a extra chapters and all this other stuff, but you're that last save file is still there.
The
But-
difference is now he is the Omega because he got the Omega blood, so he could change maybe his save point a little earlier. Like he could control.
But I think it only kicked in because he died. Like the blood, he got the blood in him before he died. Like while he was laying there bleeding out and drowning,
Mhm.
and then he dies, and it does the automatic thing. Though I don't think he chose it. Like maybe they didn't explain it, but like I don't know why he would all of a sudden have that power.
Well, he got that power
know.
from the Omega when he absorbed it from the Omega.
Maybe. I mean,
He didn't
but
get
they
Alpha
don't-
blood. So before he would transmit the signal to the Omega and say, "Omega, I'm dying," and then that one, and then I'll call her she, and she would be like, "Boom, okay, I just restarted you and saved your life. There you go." But this time, he maybe has more control because
maybe.
science,
But so okay, even if that's true, I'm on board to a degree. But but they travel back in time to before that first day, and like you said, there's a newscast, and it's like there was a massive explosion under the Louvre, and all the aliens are fucking dead, and it's like that doesn't make sense because it's like that's the whole purpose of the time thing is so that the alien can avoid things like that. And so if it got whether he reset it or not, they're not going to be dead when he goes back in time.
Unless maybe these aliens can exist in like multiple timelines and have there's a weird
Or maybe-
like multi-dimensional connection between all of them and all the timelines, and when the Omega died, it just killed them all.
Or if like each time they're doing it, instead of they're not actually jumping from back in time, they're jumping to a different or an alternate reality to where it hasn't happened yet. An alternate, maybe they're doing that, and then he jumps to an alternate reality but who blew him up in that reality? Or
when the fact that they died, they just got killed in every timeline, maybe past, present, and future. Like, pff.
like if they, I
I still think it's bullshit. I'm just really I'm reaching here, man. I'm reaching. So yeah, when they died in the future, they died in the past.
but
Because they're multi-dimensional beings.
maybe maybe we can make that work. But regardless, it still would have been better if okay, that happens, and then like you said, he knows where everything is. And here's the deal: this thing is pumping out so much freaking energy. We can literally the United States can tell if another country sets off a nuke.
Right.
We can sense the energy levels in the atmosphere with just antennas and stuff that you can get at a community college. You can do that. So you're telling me that maybe if they're not looking for it because it's deep underground, but if he's like point a fucking spectrometer at the Louvre, and the amount of energy this stupid thing's pumping out, he could. So I was thinking, okay, he's going to go back and tell him, and then they're going to bomb the Louvre, and then he can go be with Rita and whatever. But then they do that. It's just but this is what? Why are they dead?
Hold on, I'm going to read some of these comments here. Doesn't she have any memory of her? Okay. Edge of Tomorrow. How the fuck Tom saved the world? Okay. He was an officer before, and he reset it to that time, stopped at her yoga studio and watched her after killing Omega with blood. But see, the thing we're saying is if you rewind the tape back to when you were still an officer, there's still aliens. Because you went back in time, there's still aliens. They haven't died yet. They're still alive. So the thing is you got to kill the aliens, and then every point from then on, there's no aliens. The problem is now there's no Emily Blunt. How do you save the girl? And well, you have to go back and then go through that whole thing again, or find a new way to blow up the Louvre in the Omega without involving Emily Blunt, so that she can be alive. And then you show up, and I kind of feel like that's what happened. Like, and he shows up as an officer. Maybe he rewound farther to where he hasn't been stripped of anything and hasn't pissed off the. Maybe he didn't piss off. He rewound himself a little further back and didn't piss off that British general, and to get his, because that guy got pissed at him because he blackmailed him. So he took off all of his and sent him in like he was a criminal to just go fight as a private. So maybe he was able to absorb time travel abilities and then go back in time a little bit earlier to where he was still a major, and then from there found a way to get to the Louvre and blow it up. And then he flies back because he's a major. Maybe he could take a helicopter as a major or something, blow that thing up, and then after he's done this, then he shows up there and at Heathrow. He shows up and everybody's like, "Hello, Major," and saluting him and stuff. And then he walks over. He's figured out he's officially saved the world because he went over, blew the place up, and now that he's done that, he shows up to see Emily Blunt and make sure that she's alive and all that. And then he sees her and he's like, "Okay, I did it, and like I saved the world." And then he doesn't even have to introduce himself. He says, "You know what? I'm going to let her be," and walks away. The only thing that's confusing about that is why would you walk away from Emily Blunt if she's no longer in danger? So now, but anyway, so that's my theory. Maybe he went back a little farther in time. That's the only way it would work. Because if he just,
even if so, like they should have shown that, and then like, why is the general like, "There's some big ass explosion and we won"? Like, yeah, like he went, like he didn't know what was going on.
that's
So
the
yeah, like I'm fine with the respawning. That's the thing. I'm fine with him like going back and absorbing the blood. Like in fact, I think that's kind of a neat idea, But and it's kind of like the Omega. They could have even made it like the Omega was like knew it was going to die and then just was like put the blood on him to get him to rewind time. But that's the thing. If you rewind that time, like because for example, whenever Emily Blunt dies the first time, and then he dies. When we rewind time, she's not dead still. So why would when he dies and rewinds time, why were the aliens dead still? You know what I mean? Like it didn't happen to anybody else.
Yeah, if you rewind, you don't get to be selective on okay, these people come back and these people don't come back. If you rewind time before the death point, then they're alive. So it's like he would just have to keep doing this thing over and over unless he finds a way to kill the enemies and not hurt the friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the only way you could do that is not involving them. Boy, oh boy. I'm about to get a nosebleed from this.
And Bobby's got like she says like to get him to recognize her right away. He can walk up and tell her
Hi,
her
Rose.
middle name. Yeah. I mean, like,
there's no debate, Kaz. This is
like
it's common sense. We're agreeing.
I watched YouTube video after YouTube video and like read on this stuff, and everybody's like explaining the time loop thing, and it's like that needs some explaining, but like honestly, I'm okay with that. But why were the fucking aliens still dead? Like,
that's the problem. Like I don't care what I've read a bunch, and I'm like, doesn't matter what explanation of time travel you have, the aliens wouldn't be dead. No. They would have be alive. It's if you go back in time, the aliens are still alive. Unless you go back in time and kill the aliens when nobody's looking. That's the only yeah.
Like and apparently,
hi Uzi. We got Uzi in the house.
welcome, Johnny Come Lately over here.
Yeah.
Apparently the alternate ending is that they go in to do it, and so I don't know if it's the original writer, but one of the original scripts was that, and there's even one of the scenes is still in there where Tom Cruise says, we're going to go in there, but if you see an alpha and it's trying to kill you, you can't kill it. We're doing this for all of humans. You can't kill it because it'll reset it. But apparently the alternate ending was that happens, and an alpha comes, and one of the guys freaks out and kills it, and then it resets. And then
oh no,
something, everybody dies, like it was this dark ending, but it was basically set up to make us they were like setting up a trilogy. But like that's how it was going to end, with the dark ending where it was like, we got to do it all again. But they apparently they said that like people would be tired of it by then, or I don't know. But it was definitely like, it wasn't the worst ending in the history of the world, but it was just so Hollywood, like that part, like,
Yeah.
it was just so,
it was
like,
Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise was like,
Yeah.
no, we need the happy ending for this movie. Am I talking about
Yeah.
happy endings again? Like Tom Cruise said, what would make everybody enjoy this movie? A happy ending. So we're gonna put a happy ending on this movie, and that's what you get when you watch this movie, a happy ending. So and it it's fun because who doesn't like a happy ending? I enjoyed that movie a lot.
Yeah.
But
it did make my brain hurt.
yeah, and there was right after the happy ending, they did make play a song in the credits that was a little bit of a cheesy song, and it was like I don't even remember the name of what it was anymore, but it was like
Like,
another chance,
start over.
yeah, another chance at love or something, and I'm like, come on, they're like, really? That's the corniest thing for corniest. Fire the song supervisor, take him on the street and yeah. Instantly my filter kicked in. So, I'll say, again, I will say, who doesn't like a happy ending? How many times am I going to say that? But between the two happy endings that we got in these movies, which one do you think was a more appropriate happy ending, and which happy ending did you enjoy more?
I've got to go. Groundhog Day was more appropriate, and I enjoyed it more. It didn't feel forced at all. I didn't have questions.
Nobody likes a forced happy ending. It's no. It needs to feel. It needs to feel natural. And
I don't want this gruff, calloused happy ending.
No.
I want.
Yes. Okay. I'm glad we're on the same page. I agree with you, man. Sorry.
I want a soft, sweet Andy McDowell
Stop!
happy ending.
Okay. Yeah, it was a. I'm definitely going with Groundhog Day on this one. Which, let's see the points. What happens now? Oh snap!
It's tie time.
Is it tie time? Time for ties.
Thank you, Bobby. Oh, Uzi, yeah, are you okay?
I was going to tell you, take that one some chicken soup for me, man.
Yeah, let us know if you need anything, Kathy.
Just put it at the edge of the driveway and just peel off, just run.
Yeah. If you need anything at all, just call us and we will drive by and chuck it at your window. So.
Oh man. Yeah, get well soon. Let's see here. So now we are tied, guys. This is always fun when you have a tie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is where we do the tie horn. That's the tie horn. Oh my God. You guys, you know what time it is when you hear this sound? That's right. That's right. It's time. It's time to vote. Oh,
You act like you make it seem like it's this thing that we've done since day one.
everybody knows. Everyone knows when you hear this sound. You know what time it is. Oh, time to vote. So, oh boy, that was funny. Which one is more redundant? I'm just kidding. Guys, which movie did you prefer? Which movie do you want to see win this movie battle? Because it is a tie, and it's up to you guys. And yeah, so I need to know. I need to know what you guys think right now. And I'm gonna do a 1 minute timer right now.
What?
Siri, set a timer for 1 minute. I got 58 seconds to vote. Which movie? Remember, when you hear the, it's time to vote.
Somebody's gonna jump in now and be like, "I like the one with the time loop." It's like, God damn it.
It'd be real weird if my if my timer just kept resetting, never went off. No, that would be really annoying. A 60-second loop that you're stuck in forever because
Oh,
you don't
that'd
even have
be-
time to do anything.
Yeah, oh god, that'd be terrible. So while we are waiting for our lovely audience, did we decide on next week or no?
Did we? We talked.
No, I don't.
We talked about a lot of potentials.
Well, we kind of made a list of potentials, but not. I don't know about for next week for Valentine.
There was something.
I said Wedding Singer versus Sarah Marshall.
The Wedding Singer versus Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Yeah.
I'm down for that.
Okay. Good.
And now, guys, it's time to collect the votes. So let's see. Let's see.
Either they didn't hear the horn or are somehow confused by the meaning of the horn.
Yep. Well, Mel says to let Uzi decide the winner. Mel's also the only one who voted when she heard. After we discussed happy endings.
Oh, that's a good one, Bobby. Have you seen it?
The Wedding Singer?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
She said that she doesn't own that one.
Come on, guys. One vote. And Bobby voted for Beetlejuice. That's not even this week.
Well,
Uzi says Groundhog Day.
All right. I agree. I concur.
I concur too. All right. Groundhog Day is victorious. Bobby voted for Beetlejuice. Groundhog Day is your winner. Yeah, whenever you hear.
All right. Brenda says Groundhog Day as well. Okay.
Okay, good. Awesome. Groundhog Day wins it. We'll have one last explosion here from Groundhog Day.
Oh.
Okay. Oh boy. You think he's okay?
He might be okay.
Oh my gosh. Yep.
No, probably not now.
Probably not. Typical happy ending on that one. Oh.
Yeah. Mel says I'm sad but satisfied. It's like, yeah, that's usually how a happy ending goes.
All right, guys. Well, shoot, man. Oh, what do we got here? Yeah!
Cool.
Guys, make sure Boy, this has just gotten stupid.
And if you hear that dog barking, it's time to subscribe. Everybody knows what that means.
Guys, you know the sound. Subscribe, guys. All right. All right, guys, that is concluded another episode of Versus. We love you guys. We appreciate it. What's on my shirt? Oh, yeah, this is important. When my get up and go has got up and went, a hanker for a hunk of cheese. I don't know if you remember him. Yep. That's what's on my shirt. So there you go, guys. All right, we'll see you guys next week. What are we doing? We're doing Wedding Singer versus
Yes, next week for Valentine's.
I prefer a hunk of cheese. Oh, what are we doing for Valentine's Day? Is that what?
Wait,
is that?
isn't that next week?
Yeah, it's no. Next week is the 10th, and then the following week is the 17th. So the Valentine's Day.
What do we want to do? Do we want to do a pre or a post Valentine's Day show?
Whichever.
I guess we'll do a pre because we already got that's why we picked Sarah Marshall and Wedding Singer to get people ready for Valentine's Day, I guess.
All right, let's do it. That's what we're doing. Forgetting Sarah Marshall and The Wedding Singer, 2 hilarious movies. That'll be a fun one to watch, and then the following week we'll maybe we'll get into some. We were talking about doing something like we said
the Island versus Gattaca.
Oh yeah. The Island versus Gattaca. There was also talk about Lucy versus Limitless.
Oh, that's a
really good one.
That's perfect. I can't believe we haven't thought of that.
Yeah, and then I was telling Curtis about Hannah. He hasn't seen Hannah yet. I love that movie, which would go great against like Born Identity or Atomic Blonde or something like that. Something of that nature. So we're gonna figure that one out too. So. Anyhow,
yeah, you gotta if you want to do that one, you gotta. I mean, I can,
I'll find a match. I'll find a matchup.
Yeah,
for that
because
one.
I want to come in new on it. I want to, you know what I mean.
Have you seen Atomic Blonde?
I have not.
That's a good one. That's Charlize Theron, and she's a badass spy. Then that'd be a fun one to see. And then there's several kick-ass movies like that. But anyway, we'll figure that out. But next week, you know what to do. So guys, again. Be sure to hit the subscribe button, and we love you guys. Born Identity versus John. We already did Born Identity. We did John Wick. So,
but we do have to do something for John Wick 4 coming out, so we could do Born 2 versus Wick 2.
There you go.
That might be pretty good.
All right. Well, we'll look into that, and we will attack that soon. But anyway, you guys. Hit the subscribe button. Yes, Salt is another good one. It's one of my favorites too. So we're gonna get a badass episode of ass kicking spy women that can really wreck shop. And I think Angelina Jolie versus Charlize Theron is a pretty good matchup because they're both badass. Have you seen Salt, Curtis?
I haven't.
Jeez, dude, Salt is a fantastic movie. That's going to be a fun one. All right. Well, guys, we're out of here. Uzi, get some rest.
Yes.
Curtis,
seriously, let us know if you need anything, Kevin.
Yeah, Curtis, make sure she's good. And guys at home, we love you guys. We're going to see you next Friday. Thanks for tuning in. Subscribe, and see you soon.